So we got trucker. I need help proving to my company that I'm not at fault. Let's see what bro did. Hopefully he didn't do anything too crazy. He's going, first of all, he's going way too fast in the snow. Like, anyone that's up north that sees snow already knows that, like, you know what I'm saying? You're supposed to slow down. Mostly as a truck driver, you're bugging. Oh, hell no. Yo, that is crazy. That is wild. It's wild.
People are freaking out after finding out they have a third parent. This is really weird. I've never heard of it, to be fair, but it does actually kind of make sense. Obviously, your mum and dad are the ones that raise you from a very young age, but there's external influences that kind of make you who you are. The third parent in your family doesn't raise you, but it decides your confidence and literally everything about your life. This is known as the observational parent. You might have had one, you might even be one yourself and wouldn't even know. It's basically the random adult who was the most influential to you when you were first growing up and you learned things from. This could have been a teacher, a neighbour, your aunt, even one of your dad's best mates, who knows. Or for a lot of people, it's even often TV shows and people who they idolise. This third parent then essentially becomes like a template for you to build off and kind of shapes your personality in a way. Craziest part is most people wouldn't even have ever known this, and you will never know who the third person actually is that influenced you. But you've got kids now coming out with American accents in the UK because they're watching someone on Disney Channel all the time. Or kids copying an actor's mannerisms from a TV show that they're watching all the time. So it does make complete sense, but it's absolutely mental.
Yeah, that kind of does make sense, honestly. Like, I feel like a lot of like, I talked about this in multiple videos, that like TV shows, movies, just anything in your environment, like, really shapes the person you are. Like, I wouldn't doubt if a lot of people got like their personalities and stuff from like TV characters, like, you know what I'm saying, like The Simpsons, Avatar, as in like the Avatar, The Last Airbender. I don't know if you guys ever watched that. SpongeBob, you know what I'm saying, like stuff like that. Like, I've seen too many people like that. What do we got next?
Celebrities are afraid of saying 6'7".
Celebrities are afraid of saying 6'7". Yo, the 6'7" trend is so weird to me. Like, it literally means nothing.
7 out loud because they don't know what it means and they think they'll get canceled, and it's so funny watching them struggle. So here's how they responded when people said it to them. How Ariana responded was so funny, and here's what it really means if you also don't know. So the Gen Alpha 6'7" trend has taken over the whole world, from celebrities doing it everywhere to South Park making a whole episode about it. Half of the celebrities in the world are embracing it, the other half are afraid to say it. So here's exactly what it means. It means nothing. It's just a thing Gen Alpha says to be silly and like rile each other up to get loud. It's like Harlem Shake-esque randomness. It's not inappropriate, it's not filthy. But Sydney Sweeney was deathly afraid and refusing to say it while playing a game with Jimmy Fallon. And in this game, Jimmy Fallon had to describe what was going on behind her, and it was 3 Labubus doing the 6'7" in a McDonald's drive-thru. And after saying that sentence, I think civilization is gonna end soon. And even though she knew exactly what he meant, she was acting like it would trigger an explosive device in her neck that would blow up her head if she said it.
3 Labubus are going through a drive-thru McDonald's?
Yes, but they're also doing a TikTok trend involving numbers.
Oh, I can't say that.
No, you can say, no, subtract 2, I think, from what you're saying.
No, I can't say that either. That's the trend.
It's not 68.
I know it's 67.
Yes!
Ariana Grande was also saying she's scared of 6'7" because she doesn't know what it means. So in her Actors on Actors interview, when Adam Sandler said it very casually, this was a look on her face. Like, it triggered a look of concern. And so since people were clowning her response and being like, why is she scared of it? She said, well, that's not really what she was reacting to. I don't know what this means. I'm scared. What is 6'7"? Actually, I don't want to know. Please, love you all, enjoy. But if you're also scared and confused, you're allowed to say it. I promise you.
I mean, in a culture where like they cancel you for anything, I kind of don't blame her, bro. I'm not even gonna lie.
If this keeps happening, see the doctor.
Oh hell no.
Waking up to this once or twice, really not that big of a deal. But if this is happening all the time, you should definitely schedule a doctor's appointment. This is a very simple TikTok that I got tagged in, shows this person that just woke up in the morning, and they're unable to open their eye, even when they use their fingers to try to pry it open. And we can see that it's sealed shut with eye boogers. What people standardly wake up with in the morning, the eye boogers, is referred to as rheum. This is a combination of a bunch of different things, but it's not that big of a deal. If this is happening frequently, there can be a variety of different things causing this abnormal eye discharge, and it's especially a red flag if that discharge has a specific color. This can also be indicative of infections like blepharitis. So again, if this isn't happening very often, you can just take warm water and gently wipe it off, and your eyes should be able to open. If it's happening all the time, you might as well just schedule an appointment with a doctor. It could be something as simple as dry eyes, and your eyes are just trying to compensate and putting out more fluid than they should. I tell you what though, I've never had this happen, and this would freak me out if I woke up to this in the morning.
Yo, that happened to me one time where I couldn't open my eyes in the morning. I was like, yo, am I blind? Like, what the hell is going on? Turns out I just had pink eye. Yep. So if that's happening to you a lot, you might need to go to the doctor, like guaranteed. What do we got next? What passengers see during turbulence versus, I'm guessing this versus is going to be what the pilot sees. I'm guessing the pilot doesn't really see what we see.
What you see from your seat can feel intense, but turbulence does not put the airplane in danger. These aircraft are built to handle forces far stronger than anything you feel back there. For us pilots, turbulence is just bumps on a road. It's uncomfortable, yes, but completely safe. The instruments stay steady, the control never goes away, and the structure is never in danger. Pilots see turbulence every day. It's not an emergency, it's part of the journey. The real danger is not wearing your seatbelt. If something shifts suddenly, the only thing that can fly is us. To enjoy your next flight fully, check my bio.
That pilot was definitely AI.
Have you guys seen this video? I don't know what politician this is, who he is, but this streamer live sees two microphones on his chest clipped to his shirt, and he's thinking, why would you have two microphones? Like, that is just a strange thing. However, he goes on to find in the background of this politician's images, none of the people in the pictures behind these guys have faces. He's going to zoom in on this old lady. You'll see it's not a real face. The books don't have any real names. You cannot determine a single book, and it's full HD, man. And we know AI, this video is from about a year ago, we know that AI is bad with faces sometimes in like a public background. That's what you see in the background. You look at someone's face. So people are shocked. The chat is going wild as he determines this fully legitimate image on a government website of these politicians, blah, blah, whatever it is freaking AI, dude. Have they been using AI for decades? Have they been tricking us more? It's absolutely shocking. And I'm going to show you a video next. Trump's hand, I don't know. My understanding, by the way, is that whatever AI technology that we are using is drip fed to us, slow drip, slow released, and it is as advanced as it will ever be right now. It's just slowly being implemented and deployed for public use to make it appear that we're like improving and upgrading and getting better. No, it's already maxed out, dude. They're just dripping, feeding it to us so that we get more conditioned and more used to it. And then the plan is that it eventually will completely enslave us. That's the plan. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but that is 100% what their plan is with AI. It's not to make shit convenient for you, Googling things. Instead, you chat GPT things. It's, yes, that is convenient, but that's the cover story. That's the front end of it. Eventually, it's going to be in every single aspect of our lives, every single appliance. I mean, you name it. It's all going to be connected. And it's to control us with artificial intelligence, with our digital ID, social credit score, etc. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. But who the hell is this guy, by the way?
No, literally. I mean, you know what I'm saying? We've talked about this in like a lot of previous videos. Dude, the government, the military, I'm pretty sure they're like 10 to 20 years ahead of the public. Like they have, so like we're in 2025, they're in like 2040 with their technology. Like they have some crazy stuff that we don't even know about, that we probably can't even fathom, bro. I remember we looked at like a laser gun this one time. I'm like, what type of like alien technology is that? Literally shooting like lasers and stuff.
China has created a robot so human-like that people mistook it for a person, and it'll be available for purchase way sooner than everyone had expected. A Chinese company named Xpeng, which up to now was known only as an electric car company, held a launch conference where they had what could be the world's most lifelike robot named Iron walk out by itself. The audience at first didn't believe Iron was real until the presenters began breaking the robot apart live on stage to reveal the machine wirings and metal frame underneath. But then the company did something even more surprising. They showed a video of how their factories are already planning to mass produce iron, with the CEO announcing that buyers can fully customize it with bionic muscles, a soft skin-like exterior, and even gender selections, before finally revealing that iron will first be available as tour guides and sales associates in their headquarters, and then appear on the market for public purchase within only just a few years.
Yo, China is so advanced, it's crazy.
They told you this stuff gives you power, but they never told you what it does to your body. First ingredient, enough caffeine to spike your heart like a reactor meltdown. Sweating yet? Then there's taurine, synthesized, concentrated, an amino acid your body wasn't built to handle at this level. Guarana extract? Just more hidden caffeine that your heart doesn't count, but your body definitely feels. Don't forget about the citric acid. It's so strong it strips rust in industrial cleaners, but hey, bottoms up. And sodium benzoate, when it mixes with vitamin C, it can form benzene, a chemical you never want in your bloodstream. They call it energy. But look what it turned me into.
You're already infected.
I had an argument with one of my friends because he was like, bro, you gotta try the white Monster, whatever that is. I don't even know what that is because I don't really drink Monster. And I was like, bro, I don't know if I want to do all that. I'm gonna get a heart attack drinking that. And he was just like, bro, you can't be believing what everyone tells you, bro. Like, this isn't even as bad as they be saying, bro. Like Monster isn't that crazy. What do y'all think? Yo, chat, do you guys think that Monster is really as crazy as they tell us? Because me personally, I don't really drink Monster. If I'm gonna drink anything energy-wise, it's gonna be black coffee. Might put some sugar in it, max. Maybe a Red Bull like once a year, like, you know what I'm saying? But like, I don't know. Monster has too much stigma around its name.
Brain rot reels.
How dangerous?
How dangerous animals really are, part 1. Let's see how dangerous these animals are.
How dangerous animals really are.
Say kitty.
Yo.
Oh my goodness.
Yo, she's just laughing in his face. He's trying to eat her. No. Oh my gosh.
I'm just kidding. You just having fun. He wants her. Look.
That is crazy. Dude, we literally saw that in our last video that I posted yesterday on Monday. Bro, we saw this cougar. The cougar saw this little like baby, and this cougar was drooling out of her, like its mouth, bro. It's crazy. It's crazy how much these animals just love eating, at least want to eat children. That sounded so weird. But yeah.
So apparently Ray J is working with the feds right now to drop a major RICO case against Kim Kardashian and her mother Kris Jenner. I'll show you the footage in a second. It was during one of his live streams, but he said that this is going to be worse than what we saw with Diddy. If you don't know who this guy is, he used to be a rapper a while ago. He also had an interesting relationship with Kim herself, so maybe he does know something. And we saw Kanye make a lot of allegations about Kim, but we never really seen anything come to light, so maybe now we will, but check this out.
This federal RICO though, on KK and Chris.
Hold on. Let's see what she's saying. Go down more.
Ooh. The federal RICO I'm about to drop. Anybody know Kim and cool with Kim? They need to tell her now. The rain is coming. The feds is coming.
Hey, Ray.
The feds is coming. It's nothing I can do about it. It's worse than Diddy. It's worse than Diddy. It's worse than Diddy. The feds are coming to investigate. Yeah, because it's like, I can't be the dirty guy no more.
Bro. Y'all think Kim K is worse than the Diddler? Diddy? Hell no. Bro, the most Kim K did was her and her mom was on some weird stuff trying to get her like famous and like, you know what I'm saying? They dropped a couple like tapes, you know what I'm saying? But like she was just doing the most to get famous. But I don't think she's worse than Diddy. I mean, I'd be surprised. I don't know Kim K like that, but I feel like Diddy was like a different level, in my opinion. I'm not gonna lie, chat.
Breaking news. Trump might invade Venezuela on the 20th of December, exactly the same day on which the United States of America is going to release the Epstein files. But if he doesn't want to, he can attack Venezuela, which grants him wartime powers, which would then allow the delay of the release of the Epstein files by maybe 6 months or more. But why are the negotiations going on with Maduro? In June, the U.S. was in negotiations with Iran until the U.S. attacked. Now Trump is in negotiations with Maduro, but until Trump announces to invade Venezuela and take all the resources from them, it will be an easy win for the United States of America. They might win in a week, but they could take a year to install the government, which yet again gives Trump the ability to postpone the files. December 20th is the day, and if there were negotiations, why are we putting more military ships off the coast? We're negotiating only to catch him off guard. Trump's going to do this before December 20th, because next 20th, he has to release the files. As usual, leave me follow for latest updates.
I can see that. He's definitely going to do that so we don't get those files, for sure.
Who else never fell for Diddy?
Actually, talking about the whole Epstein files, I did a video doing a deep dive on it. Only did part 1. We're going to do part 2 this weekend. And it's going to be basically, you know what I'm saying, part by part, because they aren't releasing the whole Epstein files at once. They're releasing like parts of it. So, you know what I'm saying, we're doing like parts of it, and then this weekend is part 2. I already did part 1 last weekend, so let's get it. Who else knew Diddy was evil all along? I think we all knew Diddy was evil. That's nothing different.
These BS. When you saw this dance live on TV, did you think to yourself, wow, that's a really good friend? Or were you like me and thought, that's really weird. That is really weird behavior. I was probably, like a teenager when this happened? I'm aging myself. But when I saw it, I was like, that doesn't seem right. Like, I never at any moment was like, oh, he's grieving his friend. Like, his behavior throughout the years has never painted the picture of somebody that gave a crap that their friend was gone. And now we're learning that he actually made Biggie, allegedly, I don't know if I need to say that, pay for his own funeral. He saw how much it was going to cost. And I remember on TV, I was watching like MTV at the time, and they were like, yeah, such a good friend. He's paying for his funeral, for Biggie's funeral. Turns out Biggie paid for his own funeral, and this dude is on live TV dancing around like an idiot. And like people are acting like they didn't see it. Who else? I need to know. Who else saw right through it? Let me know in the comments. Apparently, even as a teenager, I was like critical of everything.
Diddy is certified weirdo.
Why does he have 2 rows of teeth?
Recording somebody sleeping is a little bit odd, so I took the liberty of covering up this person's face, and we're solely going to focus on what's going on right here. This video that I got tagged in shows a person sleeping with their mouth open. It asks a simple question: can a dentist explain? They then zoom in. We can see that there are 2 rows of teeth here, and while I'm not a dentist, I can definitely help explain. But first off, there are 2 things that can cause this. Number 1 is shark teeth. This is typically seen in children though. This will resolve itself over time when the baby teeth fall out.
Dude, ew, what the that was so random. I paused it at the wrong time, but yo, when I was a kid, I actually had one of these. Yo, it was so painful getting that stuff out, man. I don't have that no more though, but I just wanted to say that.
Number 2 though, and likely what's going on here,
disgusting.
is something known as hyperdontia, which is when you have an excess amount of permanent teeth in your mouth. The exact cause of this is unknown, although it's suspected that genetics have a role to play with this, as well as a few other syndromes, but we won't get into that. That would take way too long to explain. Either way, if you want to remove these excess teeth, you definitely have to visit a healthcare provider and a professional. There's no way you can do this by yourself. Oh, and another fun fact, people that have hyperdontia don't always have those extra teeth visible, so you might have it even if you don't have visible teeth, because they can be hidden inside of your mouth.
What's good, chat? Good morning, everybody.
Oh my god, it got even crazier, boys. As you know, the military headset is here. You can see through walls. It does some more shit. Yeah, it got crazier. It has a rear view camera when you're walking, bro.
That's
so you
wild.
dead ass have 2 eyes up front and 2 eyes in the back, bro. This shit is literally insane. And you were right. If they've had this technology and they're just announcing it, imagine the shit that they got behind closed doors. This is just now public. You got wall hacks. You can see behind you. You can see everything at night. You got a HUD. I might have to join the military.
I'm not gonna lie, it's really giving Call of Duty. I feel like as like times go on, everyone's trying to make like joining the military look like a game, because you know what I'm saying, we're used to playing like video, at least dudes, we're used to playing like video games and stuff. They're trying to make it more of a game so more people join. And yes, everybody, there is a Famity t-shirt dropping. Let me show y'all real quick again. So eventually I'm gonna drop this t-shirt. This is like the first make. I literally made this yesterday, and I made it a week ago, but I got it yesterday. This is the first ever drop. I'm gonna give 2 free t-shirts to one of my members. So if you know what I'm saying, if you join the membership right now, you might be able to get a free t-shirt. I'm gonna tell y'all later how I'm gonna do that, but yeah, all my members also get a discount. So some of y'all might get a free t-shirt and a discount to get another t-shirt or something. But this is the first drop that's gonna be released probably a month from now, and then you know what I'm saying, we're gonna make more tees and all types of stuff. But let's get back into it.
And just like that, the mysterious fog is back. Now, it's been reported that a 400-mile-long radiation fog blankets 13 million Americans in California. And if you guys remember, the same time last year where we had this mysterious fog covering over 30 states where there's reports of residue, weird smells, well, this time there's even more dots connect. Now, they're calling it radiation fog due to when the ground cools off quickly after sunset, radiating all the heat back into the air after the fall and winter. Here's why they're calling it dangerous. They're saying the toxic particles from factories and car exhaust get trapped in the fog, which causes various respiratory problems. Basically, they're saying this fog doesn't move, it just stays on top, like spraying aerosol in a bowl and putting a top on it. But are we buying any of this? Because for one, that doesn't sound right. 2, here's a US patent for processing apparatus for the production of intense artificial clouds, fogs, and mist. And here's what that apparatus looks like for good measure. Coincidence? Let's keep going. Now, speaking of weather and radiation, just last week, they grounded over 6,000 Airbuses due to solar radiation impacting their flight systems. There's even reports of a JetBlue flight that lost altitude, injuring over a dozen people because of this. Not to mention, Julian Assange actually warned us about this back in 2018.
Intelligent evil dust scattered everywhere like confetti in everything.
Now, on one hand, they could be manipulating the weather to the point of no return where our atmosphere is completely cooked, resulting in things like this. There's a nationwide Arctic blast set to hit possibly new record lows across 15 states. Or it could be one big psyop that we're falling for again because the Illuminati card game that predicted everything in the last 30 years strikes again. I mean, you have the International Weather Organization card, you have the weather satellite card that reads, real weather satellites don't just report the weather, they change it. You can't make this up. Make sure you guys hit up my YouTube, The Maverick Approach, but what do you guys think is going on? Let me know below.
Illuminati cards, we looked at that.
So we all just got woken up to...
If you hear this, don't call the police. Terrifying noise this morning in Pace, Florida. Do we have any Floridians in the chat tonight? If you're from Florida, you know what I'm saying, just put like a Florida in the chat. Florida. I'm going to Florida in like 3 weeks, actually.
Disturbing sound all through the whole area.
You would be forgiven if you woke up in the morning terrified to this sound, but what's creating it is no cause for concern. This is a super viral TikTok video that I got tagged in, recorded in Pace, Florida. This person woke up in the morning and they heard these very loud roaring / hissing sounds coming from nearby. It sounds very industrial, in my opinion. As it turns out, this neighborhood sits very close to a power plant, and what they're hearing here is a steam release. In fact, this is aerial drone footage taken from that neighborhood, and right here we can see the steam plume coming out. So they were periodically releasing the steam, releasing the pressure, and because there's so much pressure being released, this can create that loud hissing sound. Sometimes it's continuous, sometimes it comes in spurts, but if the opening is smaller, it's going to be even louder. If you're curious, I would actually recommend looking this up on YouTube as well, because this will help you put the sound to the visual. It makes a lot more sense. Even though it's nothing harmful though, this would still be really annoying to be woken up to.
Definitely.
Did you hear what's being built in the US right now?
Stargate. Put that name down in your books, because I think you're going to hear a lot about it in the future. A new American company that will invest $500 billion at least in AI infrastructure.
The data centers are actually under construction. The first of them are under construction in Texas, the Abilene location, which is our first location.
Abilene is a town on the western central plains of Texas. We kind of scratch and fight for everything good that comes our way.
I had people reaching out and they said, well, is the president going to come see you? And I said, well, he hasn't texted me yet, so.
I'm thrilled we get to do this in the United States of America. I think this will be the most important project of this era.
Welcome to Abilene, Texas. This is the site of Project Stargate, a very mysterious, much talked about, much speculated about project that brings together OpenAI, SoftBank, Oracle. If it all comes together, building after building on this red dirt behind me will be filled with chips that'll power the AI revolution.
What we're undergoing right now is sort of the largest infrastructure build in human history. It's going to create new ways of doing business, it's going to create new ways of invention, and it's going to really drive humanity forward.
So the food and water supply are tainted and poisoned. And instead of doing something about that, $500 billion, I'm pretty sure could even feed the world fully organically. We're doing AI stuff. And you don't think there's an agenda going on here? If you want to hear the other side of the story that goes a lot deeper than this, comment the word Rumble below and I'll send you a link to my live stream channel. It's free speech, free to download, and free to watch. Comment Rumble, check your DMs, make an account, follow me there, and turn on live notifications so you catch my uploads.
500 billion. Damn, bro. That's a lot of money. Once he lost his balance, he was already in the grave. He's on a tightrope. People do this for fun. If I was this dude, I would have did this in perfect weather. Hopefully it's not too windy. Oh, hell no. Yo, he's cooked. Oh, no.
I was undeniably a master of his craft, so for me, it's kind of confusing as to why he would choose to do this when he knew that it was windy and not a great idea. The video that you guys just watched shows a man walking on a high wire by the name of Carl Wallenda, and unbeknownst to him at this time, these were the last few seconds that he was going to be alive. Carl Wallenda was a German-American high-wire artist that was born back in 1905, and from a very young age he started performing, just 6 years old, which is pretty crazy when you think about it. Carl had a very accomplished and very long career. For example, at the age of 69, he set the world record for the longest skywalk at 1,800 feet. Again, that was at the age of 69, so this guy was going for a very long time. He was also the founder of a daredevil circus troupe by the name of the Flying Wallendas that always performed their feats without any safety measures in place, meaning there were no nets, no wires connecting them. If they fell, they were done for. Carl himself had intimately been involved in several tragedies with his family in the Flying Wallendas, but this did not deter him, and in 1978, at the age of 73 years old, he decided to do a walk 121 feet above the ground at the Condado Plaza Hotel in Puerto Rico. There were two major issues here though. Number one, there were high winds, making it difficult to balance, and number two, the wire was not properly secured. Damn, partway through his walk, while he had no safety measures in place, he ended up getting blown around a little bit. He lost his balance, bent over, and then promptly fell that 121 feet down onto the ground below. This tragedy, his family did carry the torch, and his great-grandson ended up breaking his world skywalk record back in 2008, which is pretty cool that everybody continued to persevere here. And, you know, for what it's worth, it seemed as though he passed away doing something that he loved. As always, let me know what you guys think about this in the comment section below. Drop a comment letting me know what you want to see next, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.
For a dude that's 69 years old plus, like, that's actually pretty impressive, I'm not gonna lie. It's really impressive.
Nothing beats a Jet2 holiday. And right now, you can save £50 per person.
No.
That's £200 off for a family of four.
Ew.
Sometimes I sit here and I wonder,
how stupid some people are.
Stupid.
What's possessed you to enter a Batcave then? What's possessed you to enter the Batcave? Because that to me looks like hell. I couldn't think of anything worse. But you know what? You know, if they attack you, I have zero sympathy for you. Zero. Now, some people sit there and go, bats are flying puppies. I don't care. Keep me far away.
More like flying rats. I don't know about puppies.
I can guarantee you have never seen this happening from this angle before. I think this is a military aircraft. I don't know what other kind of aircraft you can sit in this type of window. They're probably 35,000 feet in the sky. And he has a good camera. This isn't an iPhone. He zooms in. And that is when you begin to wonder, is this condensation? Now, of course, it is officially. But we have whistleblowers. We have patents. We have treaties between countries involving this activity, which they still say is a theory. But then you also have places like the United Kingdom who just announced they're going to test dimming the sun to save the climate.
Did he just say the United Kingdom is testing dimming the sun? Yo, the UK barely gets sun anyways. Yo, when I'm in the United Kingdom, I feel like I'm in Gotham. Like, it's always just super cloudy. So I don't know what type of sun dimming the UK needs to do.
Now, the question you're going to be asking is, why would anyone flying this do this if they're breathing the same air as us? And that's when you go down either MK Ultra or advanced technologies like AI piloted aircraft. I know you're saying that's not possible yet, but if you believe that the public is actually aware of all the technology that is advanced and developed in deep underground military bases with unlimited budgets and boards of the most brilliant scientists in the world, that would be, I think, naive. Now, the other question is, what else does this do than have something to do with possibly meddling with the weather? And that is something that is an even deeper rabbit hole. In fact, some people say there's many layers to this agenda, like layers of an onion. And when you peel it back, it gets more and more shocking. Similarly, or rather, it eventually concludes something to do with artificial intelligence in us. Nanoparticles that may or may not be highly advanced technologically that we inhale, that implant inside of us, that are nanosensors. It's called smart dust. Not every trail, by the way, is the same ingredients. It's a different recipe each time. Sometimes it's for weather, sometimes they want to test something. And they did this in St. Louis, Missouri, by the way, on unsuspecting people. Radioactive isotope. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below and follow for more.
This is why free will is such a crazy thing to me. Because you don't gotta do this. You do not have to be in this egregious traffic line.
That's a lot of people.
There's no amount of drugs, partying, music that could ever convince me, yeah, son, we should just go to the middle of the desert. We will actually be stuck in traffic for over a day. But guess what? Then we go on a 4 or 5 day bender, straight. No sleep. In the middle of the desert. Mad hot. That sounds like my actual hell. I feel like Satan would welcome me and this would be like, hey, welcome to Burning Man for eternity. Y'all go here for fun. You finally get through 18 hours of traffic and this what happens to your campsite? It looked like Doom, the Mummy type scene going through this. This is Mephisto feeling. And then you have to party after this for another 4 days. That's the thing. I'm not built for this. If this would have been me and this happened to my campsite, wrap it up, pack it up. We're going home. Like some of you guys went through this, then took a bullshit shower in that tent with some running water, try to spray yourself. Oh man, let's get all this dust off. And then you have to go interact with individuals. Oh yeah, you guys are a different breed. Because there's 0% chance. Anybody with an RV trailer, y'all very smart. But just imagine, Sunday to now Monday. Oh, it's over. I'm gonna have to kill somebody. As a hater, this is something I would wish upon my worst enemy. Like, yeah, send them to Burning Man in a regular car, Honda Civic, no air conditioning. Die. Cooked. Good luck. See you never. The thing is, though, if you talk to people that go to Burning Man, they act like their life changed. Like, you don't understand. You need to go. No, I don't. I'm cool. I have seen enough horror footage to me that look like a real life scary movie. You would tell me some crazy stuff like, nah, bro, you will literally meet God taking some of these drugs at this Burning Man. It's the best feel ever. I don't think so. I got shit, how many days of traffic? And how much dirt and dust and how dirty we about to get? And we don't got no RV? And there's a dust storm coming through? Yeah, God can wait in the comments. Let me know, what is so great about Burning Man that you guys are willing to endure this type of suffering on a free will choice basis? Why? Strictly for vibes. It's the only answer.
Dude, I don't know. Some people are just built different, because I know some people that could go on like 3, 4, 5, 1 week, 2 week benders. I'm like, dude, after like one night of just being outside, I just want to go home and sleep. Like, it's just, I guess I'm just not built for that, bro. Like, I don't know. It just gets super exhausting, in my opinion.
This video is socially engineering you. Now, this video is AI, and it's pretty easy to spot because you look at where the Sora watermark should be, and it gets all blurry and glitchy. However, that's not the part that they're trying to trick you with. The part they're trying to trick you with is the fact that it looks like a security camera, and that is meant to excuse the blurriness of the overall video. It is meant to make you think, oh, it doesn't look good. That's because of this and not because of AI. Just remember, not only is this trying to trick you visually, it's trying to trick you intellectually.
That did not look like an AI video. I'm not gonna lie.
Do y'all see what Indonesia got going on, y'all? Man, they have been going through it for like at least 2 weeks. I don't know what it, but listen, something is happening on the western region side of the world. They just had a 7.6 earthquake in Japan, I believe, today, if I'm not mistaken. But something is brewing specifically in the western region of the world, because Indonesia has been going through it for like 2 weeks, maybe even more. They have been getting back-to-back monsoons and cyclones and floods. Look at this, y'all. This thing is not stopping. This thing is not stopping. Y'all hear that water? Oh my God. Look at this. It's not stopping. The whole earth is literally going down. Oh my gosh.
That is crazy.
Yeah, I gotta make more videos.
You think that's Judgment Day's on the way, guys?
Show with a very disturbing secret. Back in like 1979, there was this show on the Christian television network called Joy Junction.
Oh my gosh, I remember.
Do you remember?
Thank you. I remember because of the puppet.
It aired from 1980 all the way to 2005, so that's like what, 26 years?
Long ass time.
And then out of nowhere, it just stopped airing episodes without an explanation, and nobody ever knew why. If you search up Joy Junction, you can only find like 39 episodes on YouTube, like re-uploads of the entire 26 years of its runtime. And any producers, any actors, directors that worked on this show, they basically act like this show never existed, like they don't want nothing to do with the show.
The fuck?
And each episode was about 30 minutes long. An episode would be based around a lesson taught in the Bible, and then it would be told in an acted out way by the characters and hosts of the show, which was one of the ones you just saw, Ron, who was a professional ventriloquist, and his puppet Marty. And now throughout the years of Ronald being on the show, he would eventually start his own company in 1991 called Puppets Plus. It was a puppet company where parents, companies could contact him and have him be entertainment to the kids. Nothing weird happened yet. It wasn't until like we hit like the early 2000s. During this time, he lived like next to a playground. He would invite kids over to his house for pizza, and then after that he would drive the kids in like a bus or like a van to like a church, and in the church he would perform his ventriloquism. But the parents, obviously, they saw that as fucking weird. Why are you inviting random kids over to your house and then like giving them rides?
Yeah,
whatever,
100%.
right? They filed a complaint to the cops, but nothing was ever done because like, there was no explicit crime being done. There was nothing to incriminate him. Exactly, yes. And then time went on. Joy Junction just stopped. Everybody forgot about that show. Everybody forgot about Ronald. Then fast forward to 2012. Cops were working on a sting operation, and they ended up arresting a man named Michael Arnett. Totally different guy. They obviously raided his house, and you can imagine the kind of shit that was found in his house. They went through his computer. In the computer, there was like chat logs of some other user that they fantasized about like doing stuff to kids, and the cops ended up figuring out that the user that Michael Arnett was contacting with was that guy, the ventriloquist, Ronald Brown. They obviously ended up raiding his house, and they see that he had
There's something very big coming up December 25th. Like
Christmas.
No. Wait, what? This guy's name is Ebo Noah.
Yeah.
So he said he had a clear vision of Jesus coming to him and saying that the second flood will come on December 25th. So what this guy did, he built
an ark?
8 arks right now. And I'm
8 arks?
And that can hold 5,000 people each. Like he's actually trying to save people, and he's actually so crazy because he thinks this is true.
25th December.
Some people are on his side, but the others are like flaming him. But I'm telling you, these arcs are huge, fam.
Wait, can I see a picture actually?
Yeah.
That's AI.
I'm not gonna lie, that's pretty impressive for this dude to actually build. I think they said 8 arcs. You know, the original Bible story, a lot of people did not believe Noah when he told them that the world was gonna flood. And a lot of people nowadays don't believe this dude. I mean, I don't want to be that guy, but I personally also don't believe this dude. I'm not gonna lie, but yeah, we'll see if Christmas the earth ends up flooding or if we are just gonna have a normal Christmas like we do every single freaking year, man. What do y'all think? Do y'all think that it's gonna start flooding? Is his name Noah? His name is Noah too. Oh yeah, that's a crazy fact. His name is also Noah. Maybe he's here to save us. Maybe we should all go to, where's he at? Africa? I think he said Africa or South Africa, something like that. I mean, maybe that's on the Christmas list for this year. We all just go down there. Is that true though? The ark? For real? I think so, bro. I think so, gang. Said nope.
No, it's not. He's built all 8 of these. There's no way a guy's gonna do this if the vision is not true, fam. December 25th. Yo, that's not fake, bro.
This picture specifically. December 25th.
December 25th is the
flood
day.
gonna come.
Yeah, that's gonna flood. That's why he started building all these things.
You think it's gonna happen?
Maybe he was named Ebo Noah for a reason. You know what I mean? Noah's Ark.
No.
Low key. We'll see what happens. Only a couple days away.
This is what Mount Everest looks like now.
Ho, ho, ho.
What you guys are looking at here is oftentimes referred to as the highest landfill in the world. Spoiler alert, it's Mount Everest. This is another video that I got tagged in on TikTok. In it, we can see some tents. This person is clearly in a very high place on a mountain. Trash is littered everywhere, and the caption says, POV, you've just reached Everest Camp 4, the death zone. This might come as a surprise to a lot of you guys because Mount Everest is obviously a very difficult mountain to summit, so there can't possibly be that many people summiting, right? Well, not exactly. Every single year, there are roughly 1,200 people that summit, including the support staff, and all of them are carrying things like oxygen tanks, tents, etc. And because you're so high up, it's easier to just leave the stuff instead of exerting extra energy trying to carry it back down. To date, there's roughly 50 metric tons of trash on the slopes, most of it condensed around the camps. Oh, and there's also around 25,000 pounds of human waste left up there every single year as well.
My head.
Yeah, I'm talking about number 2 and number 1.
Shaking my head. My toxic trait is believing that I could have escaped Alcatraz and survived the entire swim back. Tell me why I think the exact same. I wonder how long that distance is. I think it's like a mile or two. A mile or two swimming? Oh my god, dude. If a mile or two walking is like 40 minutes, a mile or two swimming is dead like 4 hours, bro. I think I might be lying to myself.
All hands. My depth perception is just fucking terrible because that just doesn't even look that far to me, but I googled it. It's 1.25 miles.
Damn.
I would die halfway there. The fucking current's strong, there's sharks. But every part of me, even knowing that, is like, yeah, I could swim that.
Literally, dude. I think the same way. But he said like 1.25 miles. Yeah, that would definitely take around 2 hours minimum.
And you wrote 2 verses for Diddy.
One, 50 Cent hates Diddy.
One was the Let's Get It, and the other one was on the I Get Money remix. Yeah. But they said you wrote it, and it's him confessing the crime.
Lord knows the Diddy did it. Carl Jr. being home, the Diddy did it. The Diddy did it. Remember
Diddy got acquitted.
Jay help me with that. Jay help me with that. Jay help me with that. Jay did that part right there. What he said.
Man, cut it out, man.
Shootouts. Coast to beat. I wasn't around for that. I was like East Coast, West Coast.
Bro, Diddy, bro. Y'all know that this man Diddy, like he never wrote any of his songs. Like someone else wrote his songs for him, like all of his songs. I don't even know how Diddy even got famous, dude. Like Diddy is like the male version of Kim K. So I can see why Ray J wants to give Kim K, like, you know what I'm saying, a lawsuit or like her own documentary, because like Diddy literally was just famous for just being famous, bro. What's up, chat? A mile swimming wouldn't be that bad, but it's the ocean, so there's that. Dude, a mile swimming, yeah. I mean, if you can't swim, you're cooked. Or if you're like a big buff dude like me, you're sinking to the bottom of the ocean, gang. Diddy did it.
This is George Smith, and he just went missing at Dracula's castle on some scary movie, nefarious, egregious type situation happening. So our boy was hiking in the middle of the night in the color like peroxide in the wilderness on some special white breed indeed. Red Bull, nowhere in sight. Why? Strictly for vibes. But then it got mad cold. And so he's like, nah, hold on. I'm going to have to take shelter in Dracula's castle. So he called up the people and he's like, yo, this is where I'm at. Come help me out. I need to be extracted. So they pull up to the castle. They find a tent and they find some like abandoned food packages. But George is nowhere to be found. So it's like, vampires real? Did they come out, take my boy up top, son? But I know one thing, like, he went missing. Like, there's nowhere to be found. We do not know where George is right now. And he could be somewhere in Dracula's castle just dead. Or did somebody kidnap him? I don't know how cold sun was, but I promise to God, I think I may just suffer outside than go in Dracula's castle. Because saying that out loud, like, okay, I'm going to go in this joint alone. But now it's like, where the fuck is George? Like, who took him? Because he's missing. That's the weird part, where it's like, it's not like he just, oh yeah, we think he died. Oh, we found his body. No. They found a tent, they found a sleeping bag, and no fucking George. And they just in the castle. So does that mean somebody was in the castle as well? I was like, oh, what the fuck? Did you just come into my territory? Do you not know? Vampires is real for real, nigga. Boom, dead, gone. I don't know. This shit been wrecking my mind all day. Cause I'm like, wait, how? He made the distress call. They come to see and find, bro, nothing. Like some sci-fi scary movie shit. Someone find George.
That is kind of weird. Definitely got abducted by Dracula.
Oh, y'all don't know what happened to Salt Bay? Y'all remember Salt Bay, right?
Salt Bay? I haven't heard about Salt Bay in forever. Joe, chat, do you guys know who Salt Bay is? The dude that did the law. That dude right there that we're pretty much looking at with the law. Yo, he got so famous. I remember he was around like Andrew Tate, Kim K, all these famous people, dude. I wonder what happened. Let's see what happened to him. What happened to Salt Bay? Let's see.
The dude who did this with the food? Well, his career was actually ruined. His restaurants went out of business. He lost all his fame. And it's all because of one person. Let me show you a picture of that person. This is the person. It was him. He lost everything because of himself. Why? Because Salt Bay had a problem. The fame went to his head because right after he got famous with the meme, he starts taking pictures with celebrities. He opens a bunch of new restaurants, but then the reviews come out for the restaurants and they're terrible. Why? Because the food looks like this. They said, Salt Bay, why'd I say juicy but it tastes like a brick? He said, hold on now. People said his restaurants were all flash, no substance. To top things off, he had bills up to $100,000. The food was expensive too. Salt Bay's response is pour on the flash, baby. He started posting a bunch more pictures on Instagram, shirtless, posing. They said, Salt Bay, could we talk about the food though? Salt Bay said, hold on, he gave me attitude? He talking smack? Salt Bay said, but here's where everything changes. In one of his restaurants, because it's all flash and all flare, one of the cooks splashes gasoline on the fire to put on a show. But the fire's too big, and multiple people are hospitalized with life-changing injuries. People said, Salt Bay. Salt Bay said, he still ain't respond. Oops, he did respond, excuse me, by posting pictures and videos of him serving the Venezuelan dictator whose people were starving at the time. People said, Salt Bay, that's not it. You better say something. Salt Bay ain't respond. It also turns out he's a terrible boss too. He made his female workers wear skimpy outfits. He took tips from his workers, and to top it all off, he would fire you for no reason if he didn't like your shirt that day. But here is where things start to get wicked. He's not responding to any of these things. He just keeps posting pictures until he posts the wrong picture. This is a picture with Messi after Messi won the World Cup. People said, nah, Salt Bay not relevant. How did he get this picture? So people start to dive a little deeper. Turns out Salt Bay snuck onto the field and ambushed Messi to take this photo. I want you to look at Messi's face. He looked a little confused. Messi always look a little confused. But in this picture, he looks super confused. More videos and photos come out and Salt Bay is acting an ass. He grabbing the World Cup from players, grabbing players so they could take pictures with him forcibly. It's not a good look. This pisses people off. FIFA, the soccer people, call Salt Bae and they say, Salt Bae said, don't do nothing with your hands. You banned for life. Don't show up, he said. He was banned for life for anything FIFA. Years later, he pulls up to a FIFA event. They said banned for life means banned for life. They escort him out, and that marked the end of Salt Bae's career. Not because it was embarrassing and people said, oh dang, Salt Bae's getting kicked out. It's because you didn't care. Because this didn't make headlines, and that marks the true end of somebody's career. So just remember, kids, stay humble.
Yeah, man, he does look like Johnny Depp. I remember some people in the comments were saying that, is that Johnny Depp? No, it's not. He does kind of look like him. I could see it.
This girl captured something creepy in this video. After watching the video the next day, she noticed that the family driving in the car looked very strange. Do you think they look creepy?
That looked very creepy, bro.
There's a theory if you're ever driving at night and a car stays perfectly behind you, matching every turn, every stop, every speed, do not look in the mirrors too long. People say it's not a real driver. There's a terrifying phenomenon people have been reporting for years, and online it's known as the night car that follows you. And once you hear how it works, you'll never drive alone at night again. It always starts the same way. You're on a quiet road, no street lights, nothing but darkness. Then a single pair of headlights appear behind you, far back at first, then slowly catching up. But here's what makes it different from a normal car. No matter how fast or slow you go, it matches you perfectly. If you turn on a side road, it turns. If you slow down, it slows down. If you speed up, it speeds up instantly. No engine rev, no hesitation, just perfect synchronization. One man in Arizona said the car behind him followed for 27 miles. Never passed him, never fell back, just followed with inhuman precision. When he finally pulled into a gas station to confront the driver, the car rolled past him, and inside, he saw there was no one behind the wheel. Not an empty seat, not a shadow, just nothing. Researchers blame late night paranoia. Police call it coincidence, but here's what they can't explain. Every single report happens between 2 and 4 a.m., the dead hours. None of the cars ever show up on traffic cameras, and none of the sightings ever produce license plates. Some believe these aren't cars at all, but placeholders. Like the simulation loads a simple glowing box to fill an empty road. So if you're ever driving home and the car behind you matches every move you make, don't look back too long. You might notice something you can't unsee.
That guy actually did something horrible. If someone's following you for miles, mostly like, you know, they're following you, yeah, definitely don't pull over to like a gas station or like some side of the road or something, dude. Go to the police station, man. If there's a close police station, go to the police station, because we looked at, did I drop that video yet? Yeah, we did. There's a video that I dropped, I think, yesterday's video, where some dude just slightly taps this dude's car. So the guy's like, yo, you hit me, bro. So he gets out of the car. 4 dudes jump out of the car and literally like held him up at gunpoint, robbed him, and it took his car. It's like, if someone's following you, you definitely should go to the police station, dude. Or like at least have a lot of people with you that, you know what I'm saying, that could fight or like have a weapon or something. My personal opinion.
A man pointed a gun at her. She was shoved into a car, driven away, and tied tightly to a chair. Then she overheard a phone call where her husband told the men to kill her. But they decided not to, and secretly freed her instead while still collecting their money. Returning home days later, she watched as her family left her house mourning her death. Then she surprised her husband, who thought she was dead. Immediately, he begged for forgiveness, but police recorded his confession, and now he's serving years in prison.
That is crazy, bro.
Which is the worst airline in the United States? Most Americans might know that the best airline in the USA is Delta Airlines. So which is the worst airline in the United States?
Y'all think Delta is the best airline in the US, if you guys are in the US right now? If they say JetBlue, I swear to God, because I literally like religiously use JetBlue.
5th place, JetBlue.
Bruh. Yo. I literally just said, if they say JetBlue, I love how it's specifically dedicated to New York City, though. Bro, JetBlue has treated me freaking amazing, except for, like, they're mad stingy with their food. But, like, you know what I'm saying? I've never had a problem with JetBlue, personally. So, this thing is capping, bro. Lies.
JetBlue is a once premium budget carrier with cramped seats, frequent delays, and poor baggage handling. tasting like faded blue skies, 10.4 complaints per 100,000 passengers, third worst in PERG 2025, and customer rants over inconsistent Wi-Fi and rude gate agents. Fourth place, American Airlines. American Airlines is a legacy giant with high bumping rates and lost luggage, charged like premium fares for misery. 0.67 mishandled bags per 100, 1.35% cancellation rate, second worst involuntary bumps, and endless dot complaints for denied claims. Third place, Allegiant Air. Allegiant Air is a vacation specialist with sparse amenities and hidden fees, feeling like nickel and dime regret. Tied for fourth worst at 4.28 out of 10 in AirAdvisor 2025, weak loyalty perks, and reviews slamming uncomfortable flights and poor on-time performance. In the second place, Spirit Airlines. Spirit Airlines is a no-frills nightmare with ultra-cramped cabins and aggressive add-ons, bloated like seatbelt extender hell. 12.8 complaints per 100,000, tied fourth worst overall, and top gripes for discomfort, service, and reliability in Wallet Hub and Points Guy reports. Before announcing the first place, comment in the section below the airline you think is the worst in the United States. The airline ranks first is the ultra low cost king with 23.3 complaints per 100,000 passengers. Rotten like fee trap fury, unseated JetBlue as PERG's worst in 2025, 2% monthly cancellations, and a rep for everything from delays to discomfort that's Frontier Airlines.
Frontier, disintegrated. Yo, for Spirit, I mean, Spirit is like one of the cheapest. Frontier is also one of the cheapest, so it only makes sense that you don't get the best service, if you know what I'm trying to say.
Are we forgetting that a 4-star general in Israel just a few years ago told us that there is a written down agreement between multiple governments, including the United States and Israel, and I think China too, between them and an intergalactic federation with good aliens and bad aliens? That sounds crazy, but not so much now because we've dropped the age of disclosure with 34 senior government officials, including our Secretary of State, Marco Rubio. They're all saying that aliens are real. We've been working with them for quite some time now. This is quite insane, but there's also 8 whistleblowers who have testified in front of Congress 3 different times now, one this year in September, all the way back to 2017 now we've been talking about this. But the weird part is when Haim Eshed went on the news and said there's this intergalactic federation agreement, we all wrote him off as crazy completely. We debunked him basically. And then also Matthew Livelsberger, a Green Beret, had a manifesto, and that's hard to access, by the way. It's been taken down, but that's got some severe allegations. And Michael Herrera, a Marine doing a humanitarian aid mission in Indonesia, that's a story that seems very credible. Seems like he wasn't making it up. He's very passionate about it. Doesn't seem like he's lying. And it's got trafficking violations. These are some things that I think we should revisit because they seem to be more credible now, given that's gone through Congress and there's a whole documentary with very official people. The maker of the documentary, by the way, says a sitting president soon is due to announce the fact that we're not alone in the universe. And he says Trump specifically has been being briefed about this, given all that's going on, that he might have to announce something along these lines soon.
Yeah, I do remember hearing about that.
If you're driving at the exact speed limit, you might be vulnerable to a traffic stop. Here's the bizarre reason why. Police officers are trained to look for unusual driving patterns. And if you're driving at precisely the right speed limit, oddly enough, they may think you're up to something. Most traffic flows at slightly above the speed limit. So if you're driving at exactly the speed limit, that may raise suspicion to the police. Officers might suspect that you're impaired or trying to hide something. So to be safe, just drive a little bit above the speed limit and you'll be fine. Follow me for more legal tips.
I thought I heard that police officers can't pull you over for being just suspicious, like suspicion. I mean, that'd be crazy. Imagine a cop pulls you over. You're like, what do you pull me over for? He's like, you're going the exact speed limit. Like, what? Am I not supposed to go to the speed limit? I mean, me personally, I like to go at least 2, 3, 5 above. Just because of this. But if I ever get pulled over because I'm going the speed limit, like someone's getting a knuckle sandwich. Swear to Jesus.
In 2006, a group of cave divers decided they wanted to film a documentary in one of the most dangerous caves in the world. But only a few hours into their descent, and a freak storm erupts on land, collapsing the entrance to the cave. In order to avoid the huge falling rocks that were coming off the ceiling, they were forced to swim through one of the uncharted sections of the cave. After they've been diving for over an hour, they luckily come across this island in the middle of a tunnel, where they set up camp and wait to be rescued. After 48 hours and no sign of a rescue, the cameraman actually starts filming in case they don't make it out of there. At the same time, one of their crew members does something very stupid.
What? What the hell was that?
If you see this, whatever you do, do not kill it. This creature looks horrible, and if you saw this in your house, you would probably think, I need to get rid of this right now. But this is definitely an insect that you do not want to kill if you find it in your house. So this thing is actually a house centipede. They're in pretty much every environment, so if you live in the UK, you're not, safe from this. But the crazy thing is, this is actually a good thing to have in your house, believe it or not. These centipedes actually feed on other bugs such as spiders, ants, woodlouse, anything that you might commonly have in your house. But the interesting thing is, if you find one of these, it may actually indicate that there's something a lot more going on in your house, as they typically pop up when there's an infestation in the property of other things, which could be spiders, ants, anything. So if you find one of these, don't worry about it, because it's actually going to help you by eating whatever else could be there. But instead, you're going to want to check what else could actually be infesting your house, because the one thing you don't want is 100 million spiders falling on you at night.
So this weirdo gets caught pretending that his daughter is his wife?
What? His daughter is his wife? That's some like Donald Trump shit. It's crazy. Nah, chat. That is wild, dude.
What? So the guy's name is Albert, and Albert's around 42 when this story starts, and he's living in Ontario, Canada, and Albert is very much a shady guy. Like, he owns a financial services company where he helps people invest their money. But here's the problem with that, though. It's all a scam. Albert is actually just a con man running a Ponzi scheme. But whatever, he's making good money from this scam. And of course, he's using all this money to flex his lifestyle, like he's going on expensive vacations and buying nice cars and all that. But one day in 1987, all that changes. Because suddenly, kaboom, the stock market crashes. And Albert's investors start freaking out, and they hit him up wanting to withdraw their investments. And pretty quickly, he runs out of money to pay everyone back because, it's a big Ponzi scheme. And all his clients get impatient and pissed off. And Albert realizes it's only a matter of time before the whole scheme collapses. And if that isn't bad enough, he's also going through a really ugly divorce. So Albert's life sucks right now, and he's caught between pissed off investors and an awful personal life. So what does he decide to do? He decides to just flee the country, and he's going to take at least one of his kids with him, even if it means he'll have to abduct them. So in 1990, he takes what's left of the investors' money, and he gets his 15-year-old daughter, this girl, Sheena, and he flees the country. And the two of them travel from Canada all the way over to London, England. So through this Ponzi scheme, he had defrauded his clients out of $3.2 million. So there's no telling how much of that he fled with. But anyway, eventually, Albert's ex-wife realizes that he's fled the country with one of their daughters, and she alerts the police. So now, police are looking for him, and they ultimately put Albert on Interpol's most wanted list. Meanwhile, Albert and Sheena get to London, and they don't stay there too long. They move to Paris and then to Geneva because they're trying to leave a false trail for the police. And after bouncing around for a while, in 1991, Albert finally settles in Harrogate, in England, which is like a quiet, low-key town, the kind of place where someone could easily slip under the radar. And so there, he and Sheena chill and they try and blend in. And by this point, Albert, he's changed his name, and they're pretending that his 15-year-old daughter, Sheena, is actually his wife. Because he thinks it would look suspicious traveling around with a 15-year-old girl. So he tells everyone that this is his wife, and Sheena goes along with it. But I guess it works. People think Albert is a normal guy and, he gets a job and he and Sheena even start going to church every Sunday and no one around them suspects a thing. Here's the thing though. Although everything is going fine so far, Albert knows that he can't just rely on a fake name forever because all it takes is one background check and he'll be exposed as a fugitive. So he decides that he needs a real identity. One for himself and one for his daughter Sheena. But how do you pull that off when you're a wanted man? Well, that is when he comes up with an insane idea. What if he finds a local couple, convinces them to leave the country, and then takes their identities for himself and his daughter? Sounds like a perfect plan. But here's where the story gets really wild. One day in 19...
Dude, I'm not gonna lie. Anything that involves marrying your own significant other just seems really suspicious in my opinion, bro.
1992, Albert walks into a fine art auctioneer's shop looking for some paintings. And there he meets this woman, Elaine. And so he starts chatting with Elaine and he finds out that she just happens to be dating a guy a bit older than her. This guy, Ronald. And so she's 31 while Ronald is 49. And also, Albert learns that Elaine and Ronald have been dreaming about moving away to Canada one day, but unfortunately, times are tough and they don't have the money to make that happen. So Albert hears this and he starts thinking, I'm about to con these people and take their identity. So he gets to work on this con. And he offers Elaine a gig where he asks her to take pictures of the fountains in Geneva for some coffee table book that he's involved in. He also tells her to scout real estate in France for his real estate portfolio, and he actually pays her well. Then he hires both Elaine and Ronald as directors in his company, because I guess he started some bullshit company in England, but this conveniently gives him access to their signatures. Now, despite their big dreams, Elaine and Ronald don't really seem to be preparing to move to Canada. I don't know why they're dragging their feet on this, but I guess they either don't have enough money to travel, or maybe they just haven't made up their minds yet. Regardless, Albert doesn't like this. This is messing up his plans, and he starts growing impatient. And after more time passes, and they still haven't moved yet, Albert decides that he is done waiting. So, as a Christmas present, he gifts them a one-way flight ticket to Canada. And he's like, here, I hope this will help you start your dream life. And this seems to work. Ronald and Elaine pack their bags and they move to Canada. So finally, Albert has what he wants. They are out of the picture and he completely takes over Ronald's identity and starts living as him. And I guess Sheena starts living as Elaine. And 6 months go by, and the plan seems to be going smoothly so far. No one suspects a thing. But then, something crazy happens. Suddenly, out of nowhere, Elaine returns from Canada. Apparently things didn't work out with her and Ronald, and also she wasn't able to find a job there. And Albert, who's now living as Ronald, finds out that she's back, and he starts freaking the hell out. Because if she finds out that he's Ronald, then he's gonna get busted. So he goes to her and he starts trying to convince her to go back to Canada. He even offers her money to do so. But Elaine, she doesn't go for it. She's completely done with Canada. And so Albert knows that this is a big problem for him. So in 1994, he quietly moves away from Harrogate. First to Devon, then to Essex, so that she won't uncover his new identity. And if things couldn't get bad enough for him, then Ronald, the real Ronald, also moves back from Canada. So at this point, Albert knows that it's only a matter of time before he's exposed. And he decides that the only thing he can do is murder Ronald.
What?
So one day he hits him up and he invites him to go out with him on a boat trip. And Ronald's like, sure. So they go. And once they're out, all alone on the water, Albert grabs an anchor and suddenly, pow, he hits him on the head with it, knocking him unconscious. Then he throws him overboard and unfortunately Ronald eventually drowns. Then Albert leaves and he goes on to live his life now as Ronald. And still no one suspects anything, so it looks like he's gonna get away with all this. Until... Weeks pass, and a local fisherman discovers Ronald's body floating in the water, and he radios the Coast Guard. And eventually, the police get involved and they start investigating. And when they examine Ronald's body, they find a Rolex watch on his wrist. And here's the thing about Rolex watches. The company actually keeps track of every servicing record, including serial numbers and owners. So police trace the watch back to its owner, and that is how they confirm that this body belongs to Ronald. And when they look into who Ronald is, they find that another man has been using his identity. That man is Albert. And so, bam, they arrest him. Here's a picture of him in real life. And so ultimately, he goes to trial, and he's found guilty, and he gets sentenced to life in prison.
Damn, dude. What a crazy story. In my opinion, it's like, you gotta be careful with some people, bro, because I don't understand why they decided to, like, literally end up murdering my boy. I mean, obviously, I guess he wanted to steal his identity, but that's weird as hell. But, so that's the end of the TikTok segment. I just wanted to watch this video real quick because, you know what I'm saying, I like to watch these videos with you guys on stream by my boy Dylan Page. You know what I'm saying? He makes pretty much like Gen Z news type videos. Videos called Epstein's Island was way creepier than we thought. Like I said earlier, if for the new viewers that are in here, I'm starting an Epstein Island deep dive. Let me see if I can find it. So see, it was this video right here. Yeah. I did. I found creepy TikToks that expose the Epstein file, part 1. We're going to do a part 2 sometime this week. So, you know what I'm saying? Be checking for that. It's going to be this weekend, like probably Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. I'm not really too sure yet, but one of them. But let's see what made Epstein's Island even creepier than it should be.
Stranger Things 5 has broken Netflix records, but somehow the Diddy documentary has still hit #1. This man was told by God that the world is ending in just a matter of weeks, and now he's literally building arks like Noah to save us all. A search and rescue operation is underway for a British teenager that mysteriously disappeared near Dracula's real-life castle in Transylvania. We got never seen before footage of Epstein's creepy island, and you will never believe what bro has in his medicine cabinet. Oh, and also something absolutely insane is happening in Ireland right now. All of that and so much more. I don't know if you could guess by the intro, but we are in Japan right now. News Daddy Asia Tour is fully underway, so comment any story recommendations you want me to check out while I'm here. Only a few days left, but let's stop the yapping and let's
I was in Japan.
Okay, I think we got to kick off today with Stranger Things 5, because only after, a first batch of episodes was released, it's actually more popular somehow than we even anticipated. And this thing was like beyond hyped. So within just the first few days of its release, the first few episodes got 59.6 million views, which for Netflix is absolutely insane. In fact, it broke the record for being the highest premiered week of an English language show in Netflix history. And it's the third biggest overall, behind only the second and third season of Squid Game. What the hell? Squid Game is crazy hyped. Oh, and also another thing that happened, which is pretty wild, is the day before the final season was actually released, all of the previous seasons, from the first to the fourth, made the top 10's Netflix chart. That has never happened before. So the thing that's even crazier about all of that is, considering how well it's done, how the hell has the Diddy documentary come through in just 2 days and made it #1? Oh,
cause it's Diddy. Yo, the Diddy documentary was freaking amazing, dude. Like after the first episode was kind of slow, but the second episode, the third episode were, in my opinion, the most interesting, dude. That just showcased the Diddy and the Tupac and Biggie beef. And then the third episode just went into Diddy's freak offs and how he loved baby oil. You know what I'm saying? The usual Diddy, the things that Diddy be doing, like. He put hits on people, all types of crazy stuff, man. Diddy was a certified, like, just a hitman, bro. Like, It's weird because like he seems like a nice and genuine person, but if you get on his bad side, he could be very, 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 very evil.
Over Stranger Things 5. And the crazy thing about this is, kind of like we covered last week, it's produced by 50 Cent, which is just, the irony in that is wild. But he tweeted, he said, oh, so if you guys like more of this, then I will make more. Bro's exposing every industry there is. And the thing is, this has made such a big wave that even Diddy himself has not just commented on it, but his team has now sent a cease and desist letter to Netflix. His lawyers called it a shameful hit piece that relied on stolen footage. And Bro said that it was illegal for Netflix to use his private recordings in the documentary. So Bro suddenly cares about what's legal and illegal now. Now, this stolen footage that they're referring to is apparently, since Diddy was about 19 years old, he had a film crew record parts of his life so that one day they could make a documentary about all of that, his career, is expecting it to be some huge, wow, clap, look how amazing he is, so forward thinking. Well, guess what now? Huh? Yeah. It's pretty ironic. What a world. So there you go. If you got some time, watch the Diddy documentary. But for now, moving on.
Should we do a Fiddy documentary? Like, you know what I'm saying? I get a cameraman to follow me from now until who knows, you know what I'm saying? A Fiddy. Instead of a Diddy, we get a Fiddy documentary.
Also this week, if you've been on TikTok, you might have seen some videos pop up saying that everyone is turning on Drewski, of all people, because of his latest skit. So if you haven't seen it yet, Drewski posted his latest skit, but this time it was aimed at balding men. But the last one was what, at white people? And I'm not going to explain a joke. Alex, run a clip of it.
What's your type? I need something with long curly hair, like an independent woman. I'm picky. I'm picky, bro. I can have a choice because when you a provider, you'll be surprised what a woman will do for you.
Gentlemen, no hats. Take your hats off, gentlemen.
Drewski is funny.
Right? Pretty funny. Okay, how could people be so angry at that? Well, turns out they are. Well, after everyone got their laughs out, a few other videos started entering the platform of men saying that this latest skit actually wasn't funny. And it was quite offensive, really. Oh, that one clip got half the amount of views as the original clip, the video from Drewski. And since then, apparently there's been a bunch more men piling onto this, and even more creators making videos about men being angry. So I don't even know which one is bigger.
Now this skit ended up hitting home to many people, and a lot of people were saying that this skit took things way too far.
Now, I don't know. Personally, I've watched a few of these men being angry videos, and I don't know if they are genuinely offended. I'm sure there are some. But some of these, especially the one that everyone's referring to that is canceling Diddy, Drewski, I feel like he's being sarcastic. Like that guy, the main one, he got his hair shaved completely bald the next day with a caption saying that Drewski made him a villain. How is that not a joke?
Looks like Megamind.
Personally, I think that Drewski's gonna live to fight another day. But what do you guys think? You know, did you actually get offended by this for anyone that is, you know, suffering with a bit of the old hair loss? Or was this funny? People just yapping online. Let me know your thoughts, but for now, moving on. Okay, guys, I know we've been through this before. The world is ending, but this one, you might wanna listen to this. So this man received a vision from God that the world will end in a matter of weeks, and he is trying to save us all by building an ark. Sound familiar? Well, if he is right, then we have not learnt from the first time, because people are just trolling him in the comments, not being like, thanks for trying to save us all. Even his name is kind of similar. Ibo Noah. He was told by God to build a number of boats to save the people from the flood 2.0, which he was told would happen on December the 25th. Wow. You couldn't put it to Boxing Day or something?
Listen to what I'm saying. I said 25th December is going to rain. It's going to rain. And this rain is going to last for 1, 2, 3, 4. 3 years, 4 years, we are going to be in the ark.
But here's the thing, he acted on this vision because for the last few months, I think about 4 or 5 now, he has built around 8 arks, which is made up of over 250,000 panels of wood and is capable, each one of those 8, is capable of holding up to 5,000 people. Now, 250,000 planks of wood is not cheap. The labor, because it's not just him, he's got other people, that's also not cheap, but he's walking around here in rags. How is Ibo Noah actually affording this? Now,
I was thinking the same thing. I'm like, dude, how the hell are you affording that? You're not. That is so much money in just wood and like just building this. I mean, my only problem with it, and I know we seen a video on this earlier, is that I just feel like you know what I'm saying? He's too like, he's like doing too much. He's posting all these TikTok videos, going on TikTok live. It seems too much like attention seeking compared to like genuine trying to save the world, if you know what I'm trying to say.
fortunately, there is hope for all of us that don't live in Ghana because Ibo Noah says that anyone from across the world, if you want to book your tickets now, can join him on his arks as long as they have a covenant with God. Not Satan. In fact, one of them, he even says, will hold up to 600 million people.
What?
I'm pretty sure I read 8 arks, 5,000 people each. Don't know how that adds up to 600 million in one ark, but bro is not a mathematician, okay? He is out here building. He is a builder. That is like twice the size of the entire American population. So just gotta trust him on this one. Now, of course, this has divided some people online. Some people have been admiring his faith, and he has amassed a pretty strong following of 200,000 people on TikTok. So if every single one of his followers arrived in Ghana, they would be safe because he's got a few hundred more million that he could fit in there. However, others, not including myself, are trolling him because I'm taking this very seriously, just so you know. I might be booking my tickets after Asia tour just to be safe to go to Ghana. But yeah, people have been trolling him, asking him to install chargers so they can charge their phone and go on TikTok live during the flood. Shame on you. Look how that ended for the last people that mocked Noah, the OG Noah, huh? Well, they're gone now. They're fossils under the ocean. That's gonna be you with your TikTok live. So the real question is, guys, to be safe, are we all meeting up in Ghana for Christmas? What do you think over there? Ghana for Christmas?
Yeah.
You didn't even hear a word I'm saying. You're sleeping. Gosh. How do you sleep with me screaming here, huh?
It's actually quite nice.
All right, moving on. Also this week.
Yeah, dude, that Noah's Ark thing, like imagine actually showing up there and then like nothing happens. Like what do you say to him? Like let's say me, you, and everyone in this chat right now, all like 500 of us just show up to this Ark, right? We're just gonna be standing there looking at this guy. I mean, unless it really starts raining and flooding, then you know what I'm saying, that'd be crazy. I'd be like, dude, you're a genius. But other than that, we'd just be looking at him, like just literally just looking at him and doing nothing, just wasted our time.
We have got some pretty insane pictures and videos from the old Epstein Island. I'm pretty sure we call it Little Saint Epstein in the Virgin Islands. Anyway, it was all released by the House Oversight Committee, and they published this batch of, again, apparently never seen before videos and photos. And look, let me just preface this story by saying, I don't know if this is like some rich person stereotype, but why have all of these island owner people have got to have the creepiest artwork in the world, right? Why not just a nice, normal looking painting? No. You got to have, like, watch this video. What are the FBI agents walking around in this massive compound with different pathways and outdoor freaking, what do you call these things? Outhouses? He goes through and shows this statue of, I don't even know, what is that? Some person with the bow and arrow? And like, is it creepy because we're making the connection with Jeffrey Epstein, or is it just objectively a little bit of a strange statue to have by your pool? But guess what? It gets weirder. Because here we have a picture of a dentist chair, right? First of all, if you're gonna have dental work, maybe just go not on an island, because then you're going to actually have to have a registered professional dentist on your island. And it's in this room surrounded by a bunch of masks of men's faces on the wall. And they all look kind of like strangely depicted with intention, as if they are modeled off of real people. Now, That's obviously not a fact. That's what it looks like. And I mean, at some point, this has got to go beyond art, right? And you're just into the verge of like, you're a creep. One former FBI agent speculated they could be used to hide identities, but that's, again, a theory, not a proven fact. And also, if you're on this island, to have to hide your identity in a separate scenario on that island, that shit has got to be so horrific. There was also a picture of a phone with a bunch of names on speed dial, including one labeled New York office. That's nice, we just got that on tap. There was also one of a whiteboard with things written on it like power, deception, political, and even plants on there. And no, I don't think this creepy brainstorm session we're talking about plants with leaves. I'm thinking more about plants in the gut. Don't want to say that. Oh, and how is this for a pretty ironic twist? So the guy that's doing all of this videoing, he zooms into the products that were in one of the bathroom cabinets, commonly known as a medicine cabinet, and instead of having Johnson & Johnson baby oil, like Diddy, you know, because this is the Diddy-verse, Epstein seems to have Johnson & Johnson talcum powder. It is like the literal opposite product to Diddy. I mean, maybe it's for sweaty Prince Andrew.
I have a peculiar medical condition, which is that I don't sweat, or I didn't sweat at the time.
That is a joke. That is we're going a little bit too far into liability. Nah, he's not even a prince anymore. We can throw shots at him, I believe.
His name is Ew.
Just sweaty ew. So we got Diddy with the baby oil and Epstein with the talcum powder. Fantastic. What a strange world. Moving on. Also this week, I don't know how many of you believe in vampires, but here's a bit of a strange one. It sounds like a plot to a pretty horrible horror movie. A British teenager has gone missing near Dracula's castle in Transylvania, Romania. Yes, the castle that Dracula the whole thing is based off of. Okay, so George Smith is an 18-year-old from Shropshire, England. That does not sound English. Shropshire.
Shropshire.
Okay, Shropshire, England. Maybe we should go to Shropshire.
No, we shouldn't.
Why not?
There's probably nothing there.
So all that we know is that he was hiking towards the village of Bran, where the Dracula castle is located. But since the 23rd of November, no one has seen him. And this has been almost 2 weeks now, and his search and rescue mission is still ongoing, but no one knows what happened to him or where he is. Apparently, he managed to call emergency services from one of the mountain ranges, and authorities said that he was disorientated, physically exhausted, and already showing signs of hypothermia. Now, George also said to the emergency services when he was on that brief call that he was in a very isolated and hard-to-access mountain area where the weather conditions were extremely severe with strong winds, heavy snowfall, and dense fog. Now, tragically, they have not heard from George since, and the only trace that they have discovered of him is his backpack with equipment and supplies inside. So how he got separated from that backpack, we don't know. But in there, he also had things like a sleeping bag and a tent and food, which you don't really survive very long without. I mean, we can only send our thoughts and prayers and hopes that he will be found alive, because we cannot handle Dracula as well in 2025. It's just stacking up too much. Anyway, I'll keep you guys updated on this whole situation, but for now, moving on. Also this week, something pretty insane is happening in Northern Ireland. A video emerged of a group of masked men, 3 of them. They were announcing that they have formed a new militant group, right? New militant groups forming, and they are called the New Republican Movement. Now, as you can see by the 2 men holding weapons and covering their faces, they are sending a message that they are deadly serious. In the video, the speaker reads a statement out loud saying, "We are proud men of Ireland, we are patriots, and flooding their communities with undocumented military-age men is not acceptable." They said that we will not sit back any longer and watch our culture and religion destroyed by the people put in power. He also mentioned mass immigration and the sexual indoctrination of children in school. But the part that got people especially worried and concerned is when he said that we will take immediate action against anyone who threatens our way of life and the safety of our women and children. Here's the craziest part. We have your addresses and know your movements. And every one of you are legitimate targets as of today.
We have your addresses and know your movements. Every one of you are legitimate targets as of today. The New Republican Movement, the 28th of 11/25.
Like, think about how wild that is. Are they implying that they are going to start taking out hits on politicians whose policies they don't agree with? If so, that is very serious. Now, as you can imagine, this is being met with serious backlash. The group is being condemned by both sides of the political spectrum, and Irish authorities are taking this very seriously as well. They've even launched a criminal investigation to find who is behind the video. The MP for this area said that the faceless thugs were engaged in an attack on democracy, as well as, let me be crystal clear, these faceless thugs represent no one, and they will not deter me or my party colleagues from carrying out our work every day representing our constituents. Damn, anyone from Northern Ireland, please let me know, did this make waves from where you are actually from? Because it seems pretty insane from what we're seeing online. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, but for now, moving on. And then, lastly, there is some major drama from the largest live music event in the world. Eurovision. For those of you who don't know what Eurovision is, it all started all the way back in 1956, so this has got some history. And it's comprised of about 52 countries that have participated in this content since then. It's watched by 150 million people every year, and it's always meant to be one of those competitions, kind of like the Olympics, where you're supposed to be able to put politics aside, and all these countries get to come together and you know, just focus on the art, you know what I mean? But that never really works, does it? I mean, especially nowadays, because we are now seeing a growing list of countries actually boycotting this competition and refusing to attend because Israel has been allowed to compete. The growing list now includes Ireland, Spain, Netherlands, and Slovenia. And you gotta understand the significance of Spain in particular is pretty massive because they are considered one of the competition's big five. And along with France, Germany, and Italy, they are all automatically gone straight to the finals without even having to compete necessarily. And that's because, you know, they provide the most money for the competition. Anyway, those countries that are now boycotting the competition, they were among those who have called for Israel to be excluded because of what's happening in Gaza, as well as accusations of unfair voting practices. Ireland said that it felt that its participation remains unconscionable given the appalling loss of lives in Gaza and the humanitarian crisis there, which continues to put the lives of so many civilians at risk. Israel, however, have praised the decision to allow them to compete, calling it an appreciated gesture of solidarity, brotherhood, and cooperation, symbolizing a victory over those who seek to silence Israel and spread hatred. But,
dude, Israel has been going through a lot of exposing. A lot of people seem to really don't like them. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not gonna get too deep into the Israel rabbit hole or the Israel lore. I'm personally never. I mean, I don't know about never, but I'm personally never gonna try to jump down that rabbit hole because, dude, it gets deep, and I don't know, bro. I gotta just be like what the person just said in the chat, for entertainment purposes only. But, dude, I just know the Israel rabbit hole gets super deep too. Mostly with them involved with Charlie Kirk, those two combined, it's over. You would literally go insane.
Ultimately, what do you guys think? Should Israel be allowed to participate in Eurovision this year? And is boycotting the competition because of that fair or not? But I think that is a wrap for this video. It is, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, it's been more tricky than I thought to get these YouTube videos out, in particular while trying to do Asia tour, because we're trying to focus on getting content IRL and covering these stories in, you know, Japan, Singapore. I can't wait to tell you all about them. But then coming back and keeping one eye on the news and putting this all together.
Dude, I might have to honestly go to Japan one day, if I'm being honest. I feel it's a good idea. I feel I don't know, bro. I feel like Japan is calling my name. I need to go to Japan immediately. But yes, Famity, look, the Famity t-shirts, they're coming soon, y'all. They're coming soon. They're in the work in progress. Like I've said earlier, 2 channel members getting a free t-shirt, and all my channel members are getting a discount on these t-shirts. But I'll let y'all know as soon as possible when I'm dropping the tees. Everything will, you know what I'm saying, will be on my community tab. But that's pretty much it, Famity. I think I'm going to stream again this weekend. Like I'm saying, I'm going to do the Epstein file part 2, and then we're going to hop into that and just see what's up with it. Well, that's pretty much it. You know what I'm saying? I'm about to hit the gym, drink some water, eat some food. Make sure you guys keep yourself fed today. You know what I'm saying? I'm in New York. It's cold as hell right now. It's 2 degrees. I'm freezing. So about to warm up, chill. Peace out, everybody.